Henry Cejudo questions Khabib Nurmagomedov's legacy. Here he says, Khabib has not done enough. I've told this to Khabib. I remember we had a really heated conversation between us because I don't put Khabib in front of me. I think you have to agree with Henry Cejudo here because the truth is Khabib really did not do much when he became champion. Sure, he beat Dustin Poirier. Sure, he beat Justin Gaethje. But circumstances happen. He lost his father. He made a promise to his mother. And he had to retire early. And as noble as that is, you have to now deal with the consequences of having an unfinished legacy. And this is what happens when you retire early. People like Henry Cejudo, like Ronda Rousey, which I covered in my last video, these people will have something to say. And they have a point. They're right. Khabib should have continued fighting. He should have fought Charles Oliveira. He should have fought the Arman Tsarukyan's of the world. She should have stayed champion as long as he possibly could have, defending his title time and time and time again. Because that's what the greats did. That's what Anderson Silva did. That's what George St. Pierre did. That's what Demetrius Johnson did. That's what Anderson Silva did. They defended their title over and over and over again until they separated themselves from the rest of the champions that only had maybe 2 title defenses or 3 or 4 title defenses, you know? They separated themselves and they earned the spot to be in the upper echelon of the all-time greats, which unfortunately for Khabib, he had the potential to do it, but he just didn't stick around long enough to cement that legacy. And there's really no argument for otherwise. And I think there is an argument to be made for who is above who in this all-time discussion, Henry Cejudo or Khabib. If we're talking as a combat sports athlete, it has to be Henry Cejudo. If we're talking as a UFC fighter, that's different. Why is it Henry Cejudo for a combat sports athlete? Well, he is an Olympic gold medalist, the youngest to ever do so. In wrestling, at least. I don't know if there's any younger Olympic gold medalists in gymnastics or something, but in wrestling, Henry is the youngest, and that record stands until this day. He is also a double champion in the UFC, meaning he won the flyweight title against Demetrius Johnson, mind you, who was the GOAT of flyweight, which in my opinion is a bigger win than, let's say, Khabib beating Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor was a great fighter, but Conor McGregor was also coming off of a layoff after fighting Floyd Mayweather. He was on a different type of demon time, drinking the bottle, all this type of stuff. With that said, beating Conor for the title is different than beating a George St. Pierre for the welterweight title, beating Anderson Silva